Alright, 12,771 miles on the bike. I have now put 11,000 miles on the bike. Oh, by the way, this is Pat here with Pat's Rides, and I'm going to talk to you about the things I love and the things I hate about this bike. It's my first ever adventure bike. Stick around, stay tuned, and let's see what I'm going to have to say, because I don't even know. Like most everybody that talks about these BMWs, I really do like the TFT display. It's very easily read in all kinds of lighting conditions. Now the GPS, granted that's not the bike, it depends on the lighting conditions, but overall the GPS has been pretty good for me. I really like the mirrors. They're pretty stable as far as what you can see behind you. I'm liking those a lot. As you're well aware, I've got the Hayes front brakes. Come to find out, I had the recall on them just like the 2020s do, but no leaks. I like the brakes a lot, the rear Brembos, the front brakes. I've got a lot of braking power to the point where even after a year, I'm still surprised compared to what my Victory was. The cluster over here isn't so bad, but then again, I hardly use any of it. The biggest thing I use is the cruise control button. I thought at first it was terrible, but once I got used to it, I just leave the cruise control on all the time, and you can tell by the red 59 down here. The last time I had it set was at 59 miles an hour. It's red now because I don't have it on, but anytime I want to set it, it's real easy for me without looking. I can just reach up with my index finger, push down, and I'm set at 54 miles per hour. I like that a lot. To turn it off, you can tap the brakes. But the one thing to get used to, in case you're not aware, fly-by-wire. There's no throttle cable like what I'm used to. So make sure you roll on the throttle just a little bit before you do that, or you get an instant slowdown like that. That's taken me a bit to get used to. As you know, this windshield is adjustable. It does do a decent job of keeping the helmet buffeting down and really keeping the wind out of your face if the weather's really bad or really cold. But the one thing I simply can't stand is the adjuster knob here. It's counterintuitive. When you go clockwise, I think of up, but it's, as you can see, it's actually down, and counterclockwise is up. But for me, it seems like it should be down. That's the one thing I can't stand about it. I know it's a little nitpicky, but I think we're all that way in some aspects. And like most bikes nowadays, the stock horn just sucks. And if you've seen any of my other videos, I did put an air horn on here. I just went to Harbor Freight though and bought the bad boy version instead of buying the actual Stiebel or the Denali. If you just barely press the button, well, that time it didn't do it. Sometimes you can just tap the horn and you only get the little road runner, but I don't know if you can hear this over the wind noise, but at least I have a horn that gets heard now. As I sit here in construction, these hand guards, they're terrible. They're just flimsy plastic. They're not going to withstand much abuse. Maybe over the winter I'm going to buy me some bark busters, but I will say this, so far I've dropped it on the left side 3 times now, and so far this left one hasn't broken yet, so I guess they're not crazy terrible. But yeah, they're nothing to be desired. My absolute favorite thing about this GSA, and it was the #1 reason I bought it, was this right here. This massive tank. 7.9 gallons according to the book. I can ride all day long on a tank of fuel and put 300 to 350 miles on a tank, depending on how I'm riding, and never have to even think about gas. It's wonderful. My Victory, I could comfortably get 150 to 175 out of a tank of fuel, but this is just awesome. But then again, that's the #1 reason I wanted a GSA over a GS, and I'm so happy with it. As you can see, I've got 139 miles left in this tank, and when I left this morning I already had 80 miles on it. So let's see where we're at. Go down into my vehicle. Go over one. Right now I have 232.9 miles on this tank of fuel with 139 miles left remaining. Now, I've been riding all day like this, just babying it. Not hard on the throttle, just enjoying the cruise mode ride today. And that definitely helps. Now, on the interstate, yeah, the mileage drops way off to where 300 miles out of a tank of fuel would be really pushing it. As for the quick shifter, I don't love it, I don't hate it. I'm kind of 50-50. If I'm really hard on it, then I don't mind it. But like right now, I am doing, I don't care who you want to believe, 59 or 55 in fourth. Here's the quick shifter without being hard on it. That's not so bad. But you do that in the real low gears or real low speed, it is very jerky. So generally, I usually only use it above third gear going up, and I'll use it all the way down at times. I prefer it downshifting versus upshifting, but that's just my personal preference. Alright, here we are, third gear, 25 miles an hour, quick shifter down to second. Say that wasn't so bad. Even down into first. Now I better pull in the clutch before I stall it. There is one feature I missed from my Victory that this BMW does not do. When I am on a multi-lane road like this with my Victory, I could just hold the indicator button, change lanes, let go of the indicator button, it would auto cancel. This bike does not do that. I have to manually cancel when I'm changing lanes. Even with the Mitas EOS 7 Plus tires on here, you feel a little vibration, but as you can see, it goes down the road just fine. I could not do this on my Victory. It always pulled left. I thought we'd finish out this video at the Dillon Lake and Dam here just outside of Zanesville. Hope you don't mind. Now let's talk about the thing I absolutely hate the most about this bike, and that would be the clutch. You have so little movement in the clutch lever between fully disengaged and fully engaged that it's crazy. I like to use the clutch, the friction zone, depending on however you like to call it, to control the bike at very low speeds. And I'm going to get up here somewhere where I can maybe show you a little bit better. I wonder if I'm allowed to drive down that. I don't think I am, but anyway. Okay, obviously you can see I've got the clutch pulled all the way in, and I'm probably going to stall the bike on purpose here, but try to get a better view. Letting out. Right there, it starts to want to just barely move. And there it goes. And there we go. So I have very little engagement from clutch fully engaged to fully disengaged. I would like a little bit more travel. And I do have the lever, well, I can't even say the word, the lever set up as close as possible for my short little digits here, but I can also, I'll look down here for a minute. I'm not going to run anybody over, nope. Right there, I'm fully disengaged. I'm not on my fingers. There, I'm fully engaged. So we're talking a ridiculous amount of movement, or I should say a ridiculous lack of movement before the clutch is fully engaged or fully disengaged. That being said, one thing I really do like, now I'm just standing up because my knees are aching, I'm in first gear. Listen, I really like the amount of engine braking the bike has. I like that feature a lot. So again, we'll do it on a flat. What am I doing? 19, 20 mile an hour in first gear, just roll completely off. Look how that thing just brakes right now with engine braking. There's times I really like that feature. Other times I don't because I forget about it. I know some of you may like it, but me personally, I hate the keyless ride. I'd just rather have a key there. But then again, just my personal way of looking at it, just something else to fail. Yeah, I do maintenance for a living, so that's how I see this. Sure, it works well, but I would just rather have a good old-fashioned key. All right, let's talk about riding position a little bit. For me, this doesn't work for hour after hour after hour on the road like it does some people. My knees get to hurting too bad, so I definitely had to put on the highway pegs. Let me get it down on the side stand here so I don't drop it. So for me, if I'm riding like this all day long, my knees get to hurting too bad, so I definitely need to be able to do one of these. That being said, the brake pedal, I've got the secondary lever down here because it was too low for me, especially when standing. So I brought that down so this way, when I'm standing, I can easily operate the rear brake. And then one of the other things I've done is I had to adjust the shift lever, because once I actually bought some ADV boots because I was doing more and more gravel roads, it was just way too low and I couldn't shift the bike right because I was preloading the shifter without realizing it. Now, what are some of the mods I've done? Well, as you know, I've done the highway pegs. Here's something I've recently done is I added this USB outlet here, and it runs my rear facing camera. As you can see by the red light right here, the battery is in fact charging, and this is part of my whole yeah, what do I want to call that video I made, my vlogging setup video that I made. I also added the Boomot toolbox. Now, it came with these hard bags because they were not going to be my choice, but it came with the BFW bags. I am anything but impressed. I have dropped the bike a couple times and I've had to take a good old brass hammer to this one a few times to make it mostly right. Right now, it's just this corner that's just a little bit off. And hopefully that'll show up. Other than that, I got it straightened back out all right. I'm not going to pull the seat because there's a video, but under here I do have my Hex Easy Can version 1 that runs all my accessories. There's a video on this as well, but I added the headlight protector. I added the horn. I'm cheap. I went to Harbor Freight. It already came with the protectors. Overall, I'm very happy with this bike. Do I miss my touring bike? Yes, at times I do. Knowing what I know, would I buy the bike again? Absolutely. But if I could have anything I want, I'd want both this and a touring bike. Alright, that's just my 2 cents on the 2019 BMW R1250 GSA. I hope you got a little something out of it. If you would, give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button right about here. And over here, you got a couple of other videos you can watch. I'd appreciate it. And thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.